Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch November the 18th until the 22nd. Let's see what we've got. And of course, remember, now is the time to properly vote for your game of the year. The nominations have come in. Check the link down below. There is now a survey kind of thing where you can see all the nominations and you can vote for which one that you want to win. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, I will be able to make a video about your game of the year. Yes, the Physical Paradise game of the year. Check the link below. Go vote, okay? Because once I do release the video, don't complain about, oh, I can't believe this game got so high or this game was so low, okay? You got to make the difference, okay? This is the most important vote of the year, like 100%, right? I haven't missed any other important votes this Physical Paradise game of the year, okay? Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics is almost certainly the big one this week, at least I think so. When I made my biggest games in November video, this was an obvious omission, mainly because, of course, I don't enjoy fighting games, and I'm still suffering from PTSD playing Marvel vs. Capcom on the Dreamcast for my challenge that's currently on hiatus because, well, nobody watched them. I suffered for £3 and one lost subscriber. Never mind, but forget all that because, all things considered, this is a really fantastic and generous package with 7 games made by Capcom infused with the Marvel franchise. I'm surprised someone had the balls and initiative to work out the complicated rights for this, and even though I have zero interest in purchasing this myself, well done Capcom for getting something so comprehensive out of the door. It's releasing physically in North America and Japan. Europe, I'm sorry mateys, you're gonna have to deal with a code in a box bullshit. Or you can do the sensible thing and order the American version, a proper cartridge with the links below. But my executive producers, Punky Dooster, Super Ben Julio, Dave Hallworth, Josh Foote, Robotech, and God of Resin, they've chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want to order this or any of the retail games in this episode, please consider using the Video Games Plus links in the description. That massively helps support me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. They're a great company with good prices in favorable Canadian buckages, and they have free worldwide shipping on orders over 80 Canadian bucks, which is about 60 American dollars. And right now they've got a lot of discounts going on. You know, Black Friday is kind of happening, is it? I don't know. I don't know when Black Friday is anymore. But if you do buy something via my link, then each week you'll be put into a draw with a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Tim H. Congratulations, Tim. You should get an email from VGP with your discount coupon very soon, and thank you for your support. Alongside everybody else, thank you so much. What else have we got this week? MySims Cozy Bundle is releasing this week to give you a double helping of Animal Crossing type gameplay, but spread over 2 games. You get MySims and MySims Kingdom. Back on the Wii, these were supposedly the best kind of shovelware. The kind of shovelware you'd actually think was alright. Better than My Hamster Extreme Rescue or whatever. I'm sure this will again be a decent stocking filler either for a young family member or those who are nostalgic for the Wii days. Is anyone nostalgic for the Wii days? Do you reminisce of the glory days of the Waggle? Please let me know. And my executive producer Feig, they've chosen this as their pick of the week. Touhou Spell Carnival is releasing in North America this week. Europeans will have to wait a couple more weeks for an extra ugly USK release. Is it USK or UKS? I can't remember. Nobody needs to remember the ugly ones. It's almost worth importing an American copy to avoid that crime against collections. Touhou Spell Carnival looks like an incredibly confusing strategy game mixed with bullet hell. It's a Touhou project game developed by Compile Heart and published by Idea Factory. I think that is the trifecta of an extremely budgeted and underdeveloped game, cheekily priced at $50 with terrible writing that some people will gobble up and claim it's the savior of the gaming industry. I don't know, this has all the hallmarks of being a bit crap in my opinion. It's coming in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, which includes figures, art book, soundtrack, and a special box. It's also releasing physically on PS4 and PS5. And my executive producer, Kevin W., he's chosen this as his pick of the week. Evil Nun, The Broken Mask Unholy Edition is releasing this week in Europe. Slightly missing the boat, with Halloween long gone, but it is what it is. Evil Nun, The Broken Mask sounds like it was created specifically so streamers would play it, which instantly makes me skeptical about its quality, but apparently, according to Steam, it is an excellent horror game, so what do I know? It's actually part of a series that I'd never heard of before. It's not often I go searching for evil nuns, only on particularly lonely October nights. As I said, it's only releasing physically in Europe, but VGP will be carrying copies of it for an easy import for North Americans. It's also getting a physical release on PlayStation 5. Stray is finally getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch, the indie hit of cat lovers everywhere. I am sure this has taken a visual hit on the Nintendo Switch, but hey, if you can't take your real cat on the go, maybe you can take this one with you on your Switch. I have to ask though, is it a good game? Or is it just because it's got a cat in it? Recently, I am seeing a lot of pro-cat propaganda that has seemingly overtaken the pro-can-you-pet-the-dog brainwashing. It's seemingly an endless war with bad actors on both sides. Let me know, is it a good game? This is already out physically on Xbox One, PS4 and PS5, of course. Also, perhaps of interest is that Japan is getting a collector's edition of this, which has an original visual book, a pin, a cat figurine, and a pouch for your Switch. I've linked that below too. You can get that from Play Asia. And my executive producers, Alexander Kato, Cartoon Soren, Ishin, Fawn Metal Luna, and Sora Cat, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Zero to Dance Hero is releasing physically this week, finally coming to the rescue of wannabe club legends. You're at uni, you're on the pole, but when you start dancing like a granddad at his own funeral, it's game over, buddy. Whatever's happening in the back alley tonight ain't gonna be involving you. But this game will make your inner Michael Jackson come out and you'll be sorted every weekend. Thank you, Axis Games. Thank you so much. Dungeons 4 is, well, this is a bit of a mystery. It has a listing on Amazon UK for releasing this week, but you can't actually order it. So I messaged the publisher to clarify things. Is this happening? Is it a placeholder? Was it cancelled? Or what? Let me know. I got a reply saying that there is a physical release for this already, like at retail. Now, I know about the Japanese version that came out, was it last week or the week before? But that's not what I was talking about. So I asked them for evidence, like, show me a listing where I can buy this European version. And for some reason, they didn't reply to that, so maybe the European version doesn't exist at all. I don't know. And maybe it's an import exclusive to Japan. We'll have to see if any developments occur about this weird listing. Who knows? Europe is also getting 2 other games this week. Anno Mutationum, the complete edition, is releasing at retail in Europe. Very nice game and worthy of a proper retail release. And Needy Streamer Overload, which was released in North America last week and released in Japan like 2 years ago or something like that. Alright, the low print releases. Dungeon Drafters is up for pre-order at Red Art Games and VGP right now. Now, as with most Red Art Games releases, this will be at most retailers when it finally does come out, but they have a limited deluxe edition which only has 500 copies. I made a video about this last week if you want the full lowdown, but it's a mystery dungeon style game with deck building because, it's 2024 and there's no creativity left in the industry. But there is also a deluxe edition of which is exclusively available at redartgames.com. It's the same price as the standard edition but comes with a cover sleeve and a deck of cards and a poster. Only 500 copies, and if you click the link below to redartgames.com, you can get 10% off with the code SWATCH10. Should I change that code? Should I ask them to change it to, Jordan 10 or something? Physical Paradise? Too long? I don't know. Anyways, North America is getting a similar thing called a Special Edition, which is very similar but is lacking the cover sleeve. That is exclusive to Video Games Plus and is also limited to 500 copies of it. And my executive producers, Jennifer M., Issa, Wixit, and Dave Hustwaite have chosen this as their pick of the week. In Stars and Time is limited runs released this week, and it's a pretty good one. I know In Stars and Time has been in high demand for a physical release. It's an indie RPG monochromatic, but apparently it's a great story from all the 10 out of 10 reviews that I've seen. Very modern, shall we say, in its writing, but it seems to resonate with a lot of people. Probably not me, but you know. It's a shame the cover art is absolutely shite. It might be the winner for worst box art on Nintendo Switch. I get that it's probably hinting at like the time loop story, but you know, shite is shite, and I have to say it. It looks like a Christmas gift wrapped in depression. You can pre-order this on, is it Wednesday? I can't remember. You can pre-order it this week sometime for Switch and PlayStation 5, and my executive producer, Dane Wilkinson, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Alright, let's jump into the imports. Yes, from now on, all the games here you can purchase from Play Asia via the links below. And of course, if you click the link, I can support you too, because you can get 5% off with the code Jordan24. And I think at the time of like showing this video, I think it's, you know, Monday, I still think they have a promo going on where you can get a free worldwide shipping for $59 US, which is much better than the 100 threshold that they usually have. So make the most of it if you're looking to pick up some imports that you haven't done so far, and maybe some of these. AMEDAMA is releasing physically this week in Japan, and it's something I am very interested in. It looks fantastic in my weird opinion. It's giving me a nice feeling of 32-bit retro, something you'd only see released in Japan on the PS1, but this does have English. This is a side-scrolling game where you take over different people's bodies in order to do what you need to do. It's set in like, you know, feudal Japan. It looks fantastic, and I think that's mechanic is really underrated and very underused as a game mechanic. You know, taking over people's bodies, using their special abilities in an interesting way to add variety. So yeah, I really want to give this one a go. Reviews on Steam are kind of like, yeah, it's pretty good, but yeah, I want to play it for myself. I'm not expecting it to be revolutionary, but I'm sure I'm going to have a good time with it. It's an import exclusive, and my executive producers Instacritic and Lewis K have chosen this as their pick of the week. Sometimes I kind of think Instacritic and Lewis K might be the same people, because they always pick the same games. They're brothers from another mother. Sushi Shot plus 3 kinds of special set is another import exclusive, and it will have English, despite Play Asia not mentioning it. But 4 games included in this package. I have double checked all of them on the Japanese eShop, and it says they all have English, and my god, what a glorious package this is. I am half sincere, half taking the piss, because alongside the puzzle games, you get a kart racing sushi game. Life doesn't get much better than that. You know we have peaked in society when we've got a sushi racing game. I don't think we're going to get a more important import this year. I am, ironically and unironically, I don't know which one, I haven't decided yet, but I'm picking this up. And my man in Japan, my executive producer Vei, he knows what's up. It's his pick of the week. Mizuchi is a surprise release. It's a game releasing physically in Asia this week after only being announced like last week, I think. So I haven't even had time to mention it in the just announced physical series that I do sometimes. It has English. This is a short-ish Western visual novel that's doing a decent job of masquerading as a Japanese visual novel, like they kind of pretending they're Japanese. It's supposed to be a decent enough Yuri VN in a fantastical Chinese setting. It even has a mermaid. Wow. Shinjuku Soumei is another visual novel this week that will have English, this time releasing in Japan in a standard and collector's edition. I remember this one well since it was very, very, very low in the doldrums of my visual novel rankings video. I have since been told that was mainly down to the poor English translation. I don't know if the Switch version will have a revamped translation or anything, but I do know the Steam version did get a patch to adjust the English. I'm doing that in quotation marks. I don't know how much better it actually was. So maybe it is better now compared to when it released. Hopefully, because the theming of this visual novel looks pretty good. It looks right up my alley. SNK vs Capcom SVC Chaos is releasing in Japan this week. Remember, Limited Run did this in North America, and Pix and Love are doing this in Europe, but I'm not entirely sure what the release date on that one is, so if you don't want to wait, you can pick up the Japanese version. It has English. Asia is also getting Wizardry, but we're getting that in the West as well. There's a visual novel in the middle there, the paddock thing, probably something to do with horses, and Disney Music Parade Encore, that's the Japanese release. Now, the Japanese release does not have English, but I think it's either next week or next month or something like that. In Asia, there is going to be a physical English version of the Disney one. So yeah, don't buy the Japanese one, wait for the Asian one, okay? Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight. Oh yeah. Executive producer, Instacritic sent in this photo picking up something very obscure in hot lap racing. I think many games with Maximum Entertainment's logo on the box are probably going to end up in the obscure pile of people's collection. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo with some mostly nice imports. Panty Party is dumb, but it's not as bad of a game as you'd think. I'm not saying you should import it, but don't expect something terrible if you do. Executive producer Ishin joined in with the Mega Drive collection grabbing. This is going to be disappearing from the Switch and other consoles in the near future. Of course, it's likely Sega are doing it because they have newer plans for their retro games, like maybe a new collection or something like that. But it's nice to have something physically once it's gone away. As Joni Mitchell once said, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And something about a big yellow taxi. G. Bautista sent in this photo picking up a triple helping of JRPGs. Now that my cold has mostly disappeared, kind of, still a bit nasally and phlegmy, I think by the time I've published this video, I'll have finished recording my voice for a mammoth JRPGs physicals video that I'm doing. Hopefully it can be with you later this week. Transient Image sent in this photo picking up Detective Pikachu on Switch. I think that game disappeared into the ether. It's hard to even for me to remember that thing actually releasing on the Switch. It wasn't marketed much. Cressa sent in this photo showing off the gorgeous Dragon Quest III remake artwork. Shame it doesn't have the female warrior on there. Maybe they'd show the side pube on the box art instead, I don't know. McLaren sent in this photo with Raiden Nova, which I was told would get a Western physical release, but so far it hasn't emerged at the moment, so yeah, it's an import exclusive for the time being at least. Shlomo popped their VGP cherry to pick up these two fabulous collections. Once you order from VGP, it's very hard to go anywhere else. Scumbag sent in this photo with Indie Calypso, a very obscure release from when Jandu Soft decided to half-arse their own limited store. They've given up now. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo, repping the Otomi release, the recent Epic Licorice. I should have Katie's review up like maybe this week, maybe next week, I don't know, depending when there's a quiet day with nothing else going out. I know it's probably not of interest to most of the core audience for this channel now, but they do help the channel to, bring the channel to newer people. So yeah, don't begrudge me on that, okay? Needless Dragon sent in this photo picking up the Japanese edition of Luigi's Mansion 2. As I've stated before, Japanese first-party games are often like $20 cheaper than most North American counterparts, so yeah, you can save a bit of cash overall. Elissa sent in this photo picking up Totally Spies, which I've seen in the spotlight more than I would have thought. I think this is like the 4th or maybe 5th time someone sent this in already, so maybe I'm missing something when I eviscerated it. Executive producer Vei, my man in Japan, sent in this photo picking up the Japanese edition of Clock Tower. Definitely prefer the artwork to this one compared to the North American one. Executive producer Dave Horworth sent in this photo, picking up some cheap games from VGP. All 4 are bargain basement prices right now. Some really obscure stuff for sure. Choco Loco James sent in this photo, picking up 3 games over 2 cartridges. I heard that Raiden Nova is actually pretty good. More like a celebration of the franchise than like a new entry. Executive producer Lewis K sent in this photo, picking up a bunch of imports like Card and CL. I'm really surprised I haven't seen this one more. I thought it would be fairly popular as an import because it's like Mega Man Battle Network, but yeah, I haven't seen it often at all. Kevin D picked up a bit of Japaneseness with Rabi Ribi, currently an import exclusive, but North America pre-orders was opened via Sekai on their website. They are throwing their hat into the ring, which is not an easy ring to go into now. Rocket Games, who are doing Croc, they had to cancel their first game pre-order, that Spooky House thing. So yeah, things are not going so smoothly for these kind of companies. Paul S sent in this photo picking up Aragami 2. I've only played the first game, but I did enjoy it. I don't remember opinions of those who played the sequel. Andrew R sent in this photo picking up the definitely 5 out of 10 Mario and Luigi Brothership. In all seriousness, now that it's been out a couple of weeks now, if you've played it, let me know your opinion on it, okay? Is it a 5 out of 10? Stefan N sent in this photo, again with Raiden Nova. I'm surprised how popular this import is. If you want the Raiden 3 in the background there, I think VGP currently have it very discounted for a very good price. Olaf's Domain sent in this photo with some darkly looking games. Everything seems to be black. Just a reminder, Morbid the Seven Acolytes is a European-only physical release, and people are asking for dumb prices on it over on eBay, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Executive producer Sora Cat sent in this photo, picking up Balatro. I mentioned in a video on Friday, VGP had it for like $21 or something. It's sold out now though. I'm surprised it dropped so quickly. Probably helps that it was published by a solo dev, so less mouths to feed. They can still make a profit, doing stuff by themselves. Executive producer Kevin W sent in East 10 Nordics. If you like games with an adventurous feeling, then I do highly advise checking out the East series. I've not played like many of them, but all of the ones I have played personify the word adventure. Shell sent in this photo with Signalis. Nice to see that excellent game get a reprint, one of my favorite indie games in recent years. Berry Gaming 24/7 sent in this photo. Seems like Rugrats released unannounced. I know I talked about the limited run pre-orders, but it's actually considered a retail release. Oh wait, I just double checked, and this is from a pop-up booth limited run did. So maybe they allowed early purchases. The proper physical is releasing next month. Jeannie and Alan sent in this photo, getting in Shadow Man. I've always wanted to play that. I remember seeing it at Blockbusters as a kid, but I was not allowed to rent it. I don't know why. And that's it, that's everybody. Please send me pictures on Twitter if you can. So what about game? Or you can send it via an email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com. Yes, I am no longer affiliated with Switchwatch, but what's the point in changing this email address? It's just a burner account for people to send pictures in, okay? I had somebody comment about that. And of course, Discord, the server link is below. If you want to send it there, then you can send it there if you want to. Special thanks, as always, to my executive Let's Get Physical producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Raven Knight, Fawn Metal Luna, Issa, Vey, Offphone, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Hustway and Horworth, Wixit, Soracat, and my brand new executive, the Nemo 6. If you want to join them, check the Patreon link below. It's the Let's Get Physical producer role. If you don't want to do it, then you can just leave me a comment. If you watched all the way through, you support me enough as it is, and that's fantastic. But I need to know who you are, okay? If you did watch all the way through, please leave me a cat emoji in honor of all the pro-cat propaganda I've been seeing recently, okay? I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care. Goodbye.